Hi. Welcome to Tales from the Loop, Ninawake, Wisconsin. I'm Scott of Scott's Case Files, and these are my awesome players. And this is session 5. 5 out of 10, so we're like literally halfway through the campaign now. So it's pretty cool. Very happy about it. The characters have already, I think, come a long way. We've learned more about them, and they're pretty cool. So let's do introductions for my awesome players. Let's start with Dr. Arculari over here.
Hello.
Excellent. Followed by Aaron.
Welcome back, everybody.
And Tim.
Hey there.
And last but not least, Robert.
Hello.
Well, I just realized I feel like the Brady Bunch thing going on. Like I have to figure out where I'm pointing to what square. Awesome. So yeah. So last when we left our fearless kids, they were potentially about to be found out in the hospital in this kind of secure floor, secure room. So yeah, good time. So I figured if you don't mind, we're gonna do the intro video, then we'll do like just character intros again. Tell us your trouble, your pride, etc. And we'll get going. So give me a sec. All right, and we're back. So yeah, let's do a quick. Just again, we kind of left it at a cliffhanger, so a lot of suspense there. I've been just wondering what the hell is going to happen next. But let's kind of recount what everyone's information is. So I want to start with Jude.
How's it going? I play Jude Walker. My name's Robert. Jude is 13. There's a weirdo. Sorry. I heartburn today, man. Killing me. He's got a Polaroid that he always has with him. He's never without it. He's got a big brother that he really looks up to. It's his anchor. And his pride is that he can solve any mystery given enough time. His problem is that he's unfamiliar with the outside world, and that leads into his drive. He wants to experience that world and understand it.
Awesome, cool. How about Andy?
Hey, I'm Tim. I play Andy Martin. Andy Martin is your stereotypical jock. His pride is his awesome throwing arm. He plays on the baseball team and the football team. But he's getting to the age where he's starting to drink, and that's part of his problem. He's been and his mom caught him in the last episode or 2 episodes ago with a bottle of whiskey in his drawer, and so he got into a whole lot of trouble for that. In fact, I think he was grounded for a month or something. So, so that's just the quick down and dirty. But he's also he's not your typical jock in that he doesn't look down on the others. He accepts all of the folks around him.
Awesome. All right, how about Mikey?
I'm Aaron. I play Mikey Wong. He's a 12-year-old computer geek, and his iconic item is a Sharp Pocket Computer, number 1211. His pride is he's the go-to guy for technical stuff, and he often gets misunderstood about the difference between software and hardware. He's very much a software guy, not a hardware guy. Mikey's problem is that his mom wants to move back to China, where she can kind of reestablish herself as the great scientist and creator that she is, and she's not getting that respect here. But because of that, she's ignoring Mikey, and Mikey's father is pretty much absorbed by work all the time. So, also occasionally, Mikey, runs into racism in the 80s of Wisconsin, and that's no fun. Right now, Mikey's drive, I was thinking about changing this up, but I think I'm going to leave it for now. His drive is to get a girlfriend, and he wants to learn electric guitar in order to get a girlfriend, which is something that Mikey really wouldn't normally do. But he thinks it's somehow the answer. And he also has an old hand injury, which is really making it hard to follow through on that. What else? I think that's about it, right?
Yep, you covered all bases. Good job. And last but not least, Alice, played by the newly shaven Dr. Oculari, looking rather dapper today.
Oh, okay. I don't think didn't realize I was capable of looking dapper anymore.
Well, surprise.
But anyway, I play Alice Wonder Sprang, 14 years old, a rocker. Her iconic item is silvered shades that she wears all the time because they're reminiscent of the embedded silvered lenses of Molly Millions from the Neuromancer novel. Her anchor is Joshua, her older stepbrother, aka cousin. Her parents died when she was in her first year of life, and they were actually working for the Loop facility in, is it Sweden, I think?
Sure. Yeah, but there's one in Sweden.
And, it was a car accident in the middle of a storm in the holidays, and then her aunt and uncle from her her father's side of the family came to Sweden and picked her up and brought her back to Ninawake, Wisconsin, which coincidentally is home to a U.S. Loop facility. She, let's see, her pride is she don't take shit from no one. And her problem is that she really, really wants to believe that her parents' accident was not an accident, but was some sort of mysterious conspiracy. And her step-parents, aka aunt and uncle, really want her to accept that it was an accident. Her drive is a need to figure it all out, whatever that might be, and it's all got to make sense somehow. I think that's about it.
Cool, awesome. So yeah, those are our kids. I believe when we left the kids on this cliffhanger, Mikey was the Lone Ranger, sitting guarding like the doorway out off this floor of the hospital. This basically, it's a secure floor, locked down. Mikey actually hacked it because again, the software is compatible with a Sharp computer, as we know from Independence Day. These things are just compatible across everything. It's fine. Yeah, so he's guarding that. He's basically left guarding the door, ready to basically pull it open and help everybody run out at great best speed. And meanwhile, the rest of the gang.
Plus, I've picked up the fire extinguisher or located it anyway,
Cool.
in case I can use that as a distraction. So
nice. So the other three kids are in this formerly locked room where they're basically looking for a vial for their friend that basically they're in here for. So to recap just a little bit to catch everybody up. Last episode, they were approached while on a hospital tour by an adult man and a little girl named Julie. And Julie, they basically said
a morgue tour, to be specific.
It was hospital. Yes, they're in the morgue at the time.
Hospital tour, yeah.
Yes, the morgue with complete with 80s morgue attendant. But yeah, so they basically explain, hey, Julie, if she doesn't get out of here, these people are going to kill her. She's going to die. And so without a lot of questioning, the kids got her out of there and hid her away in the in their hideout, and then had to go back in order to get this this vial that they need to inject her with to save her life. So yeah, they're stuck right now. They're stuck in this room with the doorknob jangling, trying to open, and there they are. So let us continue.
We have found the vial that we were looking for.
Yeah, you found the vial, and
Yep.
you were able to look up some information on the computer as well about the experiments.
I don't remember that at all. Anyway.
So
it's not my problem. Somebody else can deal with that.
That's all right. So the since it wasn't part of the cliffhanger, yes, it was discovered by looking up the information that Julie Alexander is actually 89 years old, and you know her as being 9. So a strange oddity.
I thought she was like 11.
Yeah, I thought it was 11.
9, 11. Who pick one?
There's a huge difference there.
And just another thing which I don't quite recall is there was a name that suggested what was being done to her that I can't remember what that was, but
the project was named Reiterate.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
See,
probably it's not Latin.
Yep. So yeah, Dr. Arculari, your homework for next time is to watch the show before on YouTube, right before we get into the next show.
The whole show.
You'll be caught up.
I should probably watch like the last 10 minutes of it at least.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, now we're all caught up. And when last we left the kids, so I think Andy was next to the door of this room, I think with like his foot on it, as like suddenly the doorknob started jiggling, and we'll start off from there. What do you guys do? I'll say that Mikey, you can actually see something from down the hallway. I'm not sure if we want to look at your viewpoint first or handle the guys inside the room first. The people inside the room.
Oh, in classic Wisconsinese, the first thing Mikey would say is, "Oh, geez."
Oop.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
What's in the room?
Yeah, so I can see the people at the door. Is that what you're saying?
There's a person at the door. It's like it's a woman. She's dressed like a She's dressed nicely. She actually looks like she's ready to go out of the town. She has like a beret on. She looks like maybe an administrator or something. She has to be somebody to actually be on this floor.
A raspberry beret?
It is
She
a
French?
red is like more of a tomato beret if we had to pick a fruit. It was bought, new off the rack.
So French special forces.
Yes, French special forces. So
Better not mess with her.
yeah. So she is, kind of jiggling the handle, trying to get in. Does Mikey do anything right away, or should we go towards the inside at this point?
Oh, do I want to draw attention to myself? What could I possibly do? Boy, I think I better at least start making my way in to help somehow.
Okay.
So,
all right. So
just not...
I'll bring up my map, such as it was. Crappy map. So basically, these purple lines, generally speaking, represent the hallways. This is the hallway that Mikey's in. Mikey's right around here. And
I
basically,
don't see the map.
I don't see it either.
Oh, sorry. I changed it on here and I didn't bring you guys over. Sorry. All right, now you should see the map.
All right.
Okay.
There we go.
So basically, this here, the horizontal line is the main hallway. Mikey is like right over here. This other hallway kind of does a loop around it. And like so. And in the middle, we have like the security guard's desk. And over here is where the door is. It's basically in this area over here. In the room is. So again, excuse my horrible drawings. I don't normally draw on Roll20 and I suck at it. So there we are. I said it. All right, so what are you guys doing? Let's keep this going. Let's get some action going.
What's in the room?
So in the room it's basically a bunch of stuff around the periphery. It's like desks, those desks that are kind of built onto the wall, where you basically if you're sitting at the desk, you're actually like 3 feet from the wall facing it. You have some computer like a computer station and some other stuff like in the center of the room, and there are some like big refrigerators around the periphery also. And basically there's cupboards and stuff holding various things along the periphery of the room, and that's really it.
Do I see somewhere I can hide?
Yeah, if you had to, you could hide either like behind that, there are hiding spots like underneath the desks, behind the computer station, like using that as kind of like a break of line of sight. And as you guys were going through them, there is room in one of the refrigerators for like a child to fold themselves up into if they absolutely had to.
Oh, okay.
Does the door lock?
I want to say I can't. Let's see. I want to say it does. I don't think it was locked when you guys went in. I think because it's on the secure floor, if there was a lock, it wasn't locked. So yeah, there is a lock.
So I'm gonna lock the door quick, and then I think we all probably should try to scramble to hide, unless we want to fight her.
Well, remember on the inside, you guys don't know. You guys don't even know what's coming. It could be like it could be an entire group of heavily armed security guards for all you know.
You're right.
But I would pay money to see you fight an administrative hospital person. That would be a scene. I will give Mikey one chance to do something from outside. Are you like actually sneaking closer, like further down the hall, or are you kind of going around the long way?
So my first thought was to come over here basically and use the fire extinguisher as a distraction, but I thought, that's not going to be enough. So I think I've got to pull the fire alarm. So I think I'm going to pull the fire alarm, wherever that it's probably
It's
like
probably
at
actually
near the exit of the.
It's right near you. Actually, you could literally reach out the
Yeah.
door on the to like inside that hallway from where you're at the door and actually pull it. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So I think that's what I'll do instead, and use the fire extinguisher to kind of redirect if people are like if I need to get away or something like that, or like distract at the moment. So
Smoke bomb.
hopefully pulling the fire extinguisher. Yeah, exactly. Like a ninja. Uh, hopefully the fire extinguisher will get them to go do stuff that will get them to leave, and then the guys can get out.
Cool. All right. All right. So yeah. So Andy locks the door. And it's one of those. It's probably one of those little push button ones. So you push the button, door locks, and suddenly the person's like, cranking on the thing from the outside, and you hear this woman's voice. The door here is locked. I thought it was supposed to be unlocked for easy access. I mean, we already have to use a badge to even get on this floor. And so she's talking. You can just hear she's kind of diverting her voice over towards the security guard station. He's like, "Lady, I don't even know about that. I sit at this desk. I monitor who comes and goes. You signed in. There you go. I don't know anything about the locks. The roving security guys, they'll be back in a second, and they'll be able to let you in." And it's about that time that you guys are in this inside the room. You guys are like, "Oh my god!" Already. Jude is probably already behind the computer station, like, becoming the shape of the thing, and ready to kind of maneuver around as the person is coming.
Yeah.
I can imagine that. If they can't see me, I can't. They can't see me. If I can't see them, they can't see me. But suddenly the fire alarm goes off. This huge klaxon, this loud sound just echoing through the whole place is just, like you guys almost pee yourselves probably. It's so sudden, and like, it's like right, it happens right as like, Andy locks the door probably, or seconds later. It's like, oh, and oh my god, did I set off an alarm? Oh my god.
Everything's so tense.
Misassociation. Yeah.
Yeah. So the alarm goes off, and you hear, oh my god, I just needed to, the lady's outside, and she's like, you can hear you hear shoes walking away, and you hear more shoes coming down the hallway from inside the room. If you had to guess, it's that duo security team that does the rounds around the laps, and they're making great speed towards the center, and you're like, what the hell's going on? Like, I don't know. I just sit here and I sign people in and sign people out, and that's it. And I'm going. It's not worth getting burned up for this job. I'm getting out of here. And the other guys are like, you go. We'll secure the floor.
Oh no.
And you kind of again, the desk security guy, he walks away. If Mikey peers out, he could probably see him coming towards the elevators, actually, which are on his side. We'll say it's right around Cha. And meanwhile, the security dudes are kind of going around. They split up. They are now, if we look at the map, so like elevator here, that the woman and the desk security guy are going down. Meanwhile, the two guards are kind of going opposite directions. One guy is going this route. Boom, boom, boom. Other guy is going this route. Boom, boom, boom. To kind of do a kind of like an S circle.
S or a Mobius strip or something.
Yeah, basically, so they cover different ground in one lap, basically. So there's one guy coming towards the door where the guys are, and he's starting to check in offices and stuff. So dude's, opening the door, looking in. Then as he like closes it up, he locks it up. And then goes to the next one, etc., etc. What are you guys in the room doing right now?
We're in the green room, right?
Yeah, you're in the green kind of. The door is over here. The room is basically like over here on this side. So if I had to, let's see about here. There we go. Now the room is represented.
Would you say it had like a small, like a window on the door?
Did I? Honestly, don't recall.
Well, we can make a ruling right now.
Sure. Let's sure. There's a little window in the door.
Okay. Jude's gonna peel back whatever they had covering that window, and he's gonna, as soon as he sees both of them turn the corner, he's gonna try and sneak his way out that goddamn door, the one we came in.
All right. He probably doesn't see the other security guard making his way towards him. So go ahead and let's make a what do you call it? Let's see, bring it up. Dude.
Sneak.
Yeah, sneak roll. We're gonna make a sneak roll.
All right. This is a good one, huh? Let's start off. Ooh!
Yeah, success. All right. So where are you trying to go?
Jude wants to go back out the door that we came, so I'm gonna start heading that way.
Okay. Now you will. The first thing he's going to notice, and I'll include this as being part of your sneak roll, is that the first thing you're going to see is the security guard coming that way. You literally have to somehow get past him if you want to do that, and that was not covered by this. That was more like sneaking out of the room without being seen. So you'd probably want to go the other way, do the long way around.
Okay. Yeah. If I guess what I imagine is Jude starts like sneaking his way down this way, hears the footsteps, immediately turns around and starts sneaking his way back this way.
Sure. Well, and that would be that makes it for sense for the sneak roll. It's like, and suddenly hear something and like,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Starts sneak hauling ass in the other direction. All right. So what is everybody else doing? Jude just like ran for the hills. He didn't even like say, "Hey guys, what do you want to do?" You're like, "Where's Jude?"
And I happened to be standing right by the door, and he just sort of ran past me.
So it leaves Alice and Indy in the room.
So with the door open and Jude sneaking out, I think I'm going to try to create a distraction so that, because in my mind, I don't know who's all out there, but I want to make sure sort of Jude can get away.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take my baseball and I'm going to throw it down the hall so that it'll aim it towards something to make a noise so that Jude can get away.
I think I do have the stuff. I think I was the one who found all of that.
Oh yeah. I think you were the one who actually took hold of the vial. So let's see. So that's cool. So are you? So Jude actually, you can see he kind of scrambles around the corner by the time you're out there. Do you want to use that same distraction for instead you and Alice?
Yeah, because I mean, I guess this is all happening pretty fast. I see him cut out the door. I'm thinking, oh, let's cover him, make a distraction so that everybody can sort of get out. So I'm gonna just give the old ball a toss and see if I can make it bang into something on the other end of the hallway.
Cool. Yeah. So let's call that. Let's call that actually, I suppose, your own. I think it's probably that's probably also a sneak roll using your kind of using your baseball as the
God, so all-purpose.
yeah, it has many purposes. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use the roll as my baseball and set it to sneak, right?
Yep, and then do your roll. Cool. So
Nice.
so this is a pretty awesome use of it, because what basically the one success allows you to successfully use this as a sneak. The other success lets you give a success to another kid, and it just so happens you have another kid that you could give a success to.
Bonus.
Yep. So yeah, why don't you describe kind of what happens with your ball and the security guard?
So so he having the good throwing arm that he does, he wants to see if he can get the guard to go running the other way. So he throws it as far as down the hallway he can, and aiming for some sort of metal door or something that's really going to make a noise, and hits it square on target, makes this noise, and the guard's running. He's like, "What the?" And he goes running back that way, I presume. And as soon as he turns, I motion to Alice, like, "Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go."
I imagine kind of like a Captain America-esque baseball throw, like tung, 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 tung.
Yeah.
And finally the thing, the impossible hit from around
Feels
like the corner.
off of
Yeah, exactly. And finally hits the thing and then rolls back to him. So like you actually like pick it up as you're running out the door.
That's funny.
So Alice, before you leave, is there anything you want to do, or are you just heading straight out?
Yeah, I grab a clipboard off of one of the computer desks, and hold it official looking in the crock of my arm, and then follow Andy out the door.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
If you added 10 years to your age, that would be more effective. But this is a good start.
Yeah, but the silvered sunglasses confuse how old I actually am.
They're a rather mature set of sunglasses. I agree. It's definitely it's definitely like a disguise in a way, actually. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's the next best thing to a tomato beret.
Not a raspberry beret. We are not copyright infringers here, people. We don't do that. All right. So yeah, you guys scramble out the door as the security guard is kind of retracing his steps, thinking, "Oh, what the hell's going on? Did I miss something?" And you kind of see that suit as you go out the door. You kind of see the suit go in a room to kind of do a more thorough search. Meanwhile, Jude is already.
The suit is the woman with the beret.
She and the desk guard are already down the elevator, because we didn't care about fire alarms and elevators back in the 80s. If we're gonna die, we're gonna die. Might as well be comfortable with it and take the elevator. So they took the elevator.
Yeah.
So right now I'm assuming Jude is pretty much almost to Mikey at this point. And are you guys kind of doing the same loop, kind of like the loop-de-loop around, or are you guys going straight, just screw it and going straight down the hallway?
Well, what happened? I guess Andy, when you threw the ball, which it was to distract the guards. What happened? What did the guards do? That would have changed, the trajectory of the guards. So where are they now?
Well, you guys don't see one of them, but the other one is like over here in a room right now.
Okay, so basically we don't. They're both essentially. There are no guards in that corridor, which is the straight beeline to the stairwell.
It would appear so, yes.
Yeah,
that could change at any moment.
Alice
but yes.
Yeah, I know it could. But Alice has her clipboard, and so she says to Andy, "Come on, let's go," and just starts heading straight down.
Plus, I think we can outrun a security guard myself.
Yeah, Andy's doing like the military, like hold, go, go. And you know, Alice is like,
Alice can too.
Alice is like, what in the fuck are you
Like
doing?
Red Dawn.
Like Red Dawn.
Yeah.
It's the anger that keeps me warm. Look that up. So yeah, you guys beeline it down the hallway towards where Mikey and now Jude are at, and totally evade the first security guard, who's actually literally almost upon you. As you guys kind of go down that hallway where like the square corridor intersects, you kind of see the other security guard going up that hallway away from you. So you got lucky and he wasn't facing you. So now you guys are all in the same stairway you originated at on this floor, and there's Mikey with a fire extinguisher. You're not quite sure what's going on here. Was he gonna like fumigate the place? Was he gonna was he afraid? Was he there to put out the fire? Was he like gonna go in and battle flames for you guys? Like, or was he gonna bash someone over the head with this? There are many questions here and not many answers.
Once the last person's through the door, I drop the extinguisher, and maybe it rolls up against the door, you know, just laying there as a little bit of an extra hazard.
Or an alarm to know if they're coming behind us.
We get the fire extinguisher, or when we get everybody out of the door.
Is this like a CO2 fire extinguisher?
No, this is the 80s. This is like, you know, if you sprayed it onto, if you sprayed it onto like anything electrical, you'd immediately be electrocuted. It's water based, that kind of thing. You know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, and it is fully charged according to the little meter there, though. So good to know.
If we put it against the door and somebody opens the door, we would hear it. It would probably clang down the stairs and stuff, so we'd know somebody's coming.
Yep. Very much so.
Let's just go.
Yeah, everybody's trying to formulate a plan and like, what's the best way to do this? Mikey's like, let's get out of here! Let's go!
Alice,
we're breaking the law!
Go!
Down. Let's
I was
down.
gonna say when we get everybody out the door,
people are gonna be running around. Let's just go down the stairs and out the lobby and get out of here.
What were you saying, Jude?
When Jude I was saying that whenever we get everybody to the door, Jude's like, "What are you doing with that fire extinguisher? Let's just go. We gotta get out of here."
All right.
All right.
Mikey's stunned at the thought of his, brilliant idea of like being able to distract the guards by shooting him in the face. And you have no idea what I was going to do with this. And he just instead drops it and says, "Okay, let's go."
Yeah. In his mind, there was this montage of heroic feats that were about to be done with this fire extinguisher, and they were all dashed to the ground because of his own plan, his own second plan, which was pulling the fire.
His much better plan, yeah.
his much more cohesive plan, yes. So you guys go down the stairway, and as you kind of get to the bottom, you open the door to the main area, and there are a couple just normal security guards, as opposed to the Eldrin Lab security guards. It's upstairs. These are hospital security guards, and they as the door opens, you literally whoever is first in order. And again, this is not Dungeons and Dragons. We don't really care who's in marching order, but whoever that was plows face first into the chest of Rent-A-Cop hospital dude, and he's like, whoa, kids, let's slow on down.
What do you mean there's a fire?
He's like, Andy makes a good argument. Yeah, so he's like, single file, orderly, don't panic. And he kind of points to where the other security guards are kind of getting people into that single file line to go out.
The dude's gonna give him a salute and keep walking.
He's like, hey, you're not supposed to take anything from any of the offices up there, kid.
What
And
do you mean?
he goes to grab the vial from you.
Oh, I'm gonna run.
All right. Make a move. Make a
Yeah.
move roll.
Oh no.
Can Alice
Woo!
do something to
I see.
intervene in this?
I was gonna say I see there's one of those rolling like lunch tray carts that's full of like used lunch trays next to Alice or Andy or somebody like could put it into the guard and
So okay, that sounds like an idea. Alice, what do you want to want to do? You kind of spoke up, so go first. Do you want to do that? Where like push the tray to kind of use as a helper to his move.
No. Alice wants to, and holding her clipboard, stand between the guard and Jude, and look him straight in the face with her silvered sunglasses, and say, "That's his medicine."
All right, that counts as a helper. So, Jude, go ahead and make a move roll, and then add a die to that. So make the roll and then roll
I'll
1d6.
die.
What's that?
that's definitely better, Alice.
Oh, well, I got a 1 success. Nothing on the extra roll.
Okay. All right. So what do you want to do? You got your success.
I'm gonna run out of the hospital screaming, "Fire! Fire!"
Yeah, the guard kind of tries to reach past Alice. Alice is making a better door than window, as they say, and the guy tries to literally reach past and is about to like stumble onto and collapse over Alice and catches himself, and he's like, "That kid just ran out with some stuff." And like the other security guards who have the most boringest job in the entire universe, because this is freaking Ninawake, Wisconsin, and they're security guards at a freaking hospital, and this in just like the general area, and I don't like the ER where stuff can maybe get a little crazy. But this is like the most exciting day of their lives. It just started right here. So you immediately you get out of there, but you immediately have two security guards on your tail, and I'll say you recognize one of them. It's one of the older kids from school, and it might have been yeah, it's one of the older kids from school that you know. So like he's like 17, getting he got the little permit sign saying he can work. So yeah, it's like. You have someone on your tail, yeah, and then there's another guy who's just kind of like, we'll call him a very generic security guard who are running after you. And the guy's like,
The one that eats too many hot dogs for lunch.
yeah, exactly. And he will be vomiting very soon. But yes, that guy. So the guy with you in front of the remaining three of you is he's like, damn it, kid! Get out of my way! Get out of here! Single file! Don't panic! Get out of my way! He starts pointing towards the door. Get out! He's like,
Are we still in the lobby or are we outside?
You guys are still in like the lobby area. You can see the glass doors leading out. You can actually see the trail of dust behind Jude that he left behind as he scooched out of there.
So yeah, we should definitely run to catch up with him.
Yeah, do we have to evade these clowns, or are we fast enough to pretty much?
They're not the clowns are not following you. They're on Jude's tail.
Okay.
So you guys are just kind of going out at your leisure at this point. In fact, you're being told to vacate the premises by the lead security guard down there.
So we'll do our best to blend in like normal people.
Like normal people. Yeah, it's like, what do you was it like you tend to look around a lot when you're trying to like look like you have nothing going on here, you're not doing anything wrong. Yeah, there's a whistle happening, immediate, like any adult in the air is like troublemaker. But yeah, you guys are escorted outside. There are a bunch of other people, kids and adults, and again this was the day of the open house. You probably even see like the morgue attendant kind of dawdling outside, kind of looking around. probably still finishing off his sandwich, or like, you know, has some barbecue sauce down his tie. Just kind of wandering around, thankful not to have to actually do work at the moment, that kind of thing. And yeah, so yeah, you guys are out there, but Jude is nowhere to be seen. He's already rounded the corner along with the security guards. Though you do see the older one, the guy who ate too many hot dogs for lunch. He's up chucking his lunch at the corner. Like, he's literally using the building as, like, you know, a brace. Like, and it's just like, even the morgue attendant kind of peers over. He's like, oh, you know, oh god, you know, sympathetic vomiter here. And yeah, so you kind of see where maybe Jude went, but yeah, Jude is already zipped away. What do you guys do? What do you guys?
Was Rigby still waiting for us with the car?
He was.
I don't remember.
Yes, yeah, he was camped out in the car in the parking lot that you guys are kind of now in right now. And I'm going to say he didn't happen to see Jude speed out around the corner. He was just kind of chilling out in his car with the seat back, just chilling out, because he had no idea how long he was going to be there waiting for you guys. Yeah, but you guys actually spot the car in the parking lot.
And so Jude is running away from the car.
You don't even know where Jude is right now. You just know he rounded that corner over there. That's all you know.
Okay.
We should all pile into that car and tell him to go get Jude.
All right. What do you? So yeah, you guys, you know, without any ceremony or anything, you guys kind of jump in the car. And what do you say to Rigby?
Where's Jude?
Get your hands off Andy's sister.
Oh, damn, that's messed up. Oh. Oh.
Wow. Dude, she's 12.
It is not that kind of a game.
Oh, okay. That's a little bit too much, huh?
Yes. So you probably say that, and it's enough to startle Rigby up into like action. He's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he looks at you guys. He's like, "Where's my brother?"
He didn't.
He's over there. He ran past.
He could actually boost himself up.
That corner.
Yeah, he like boosts himself
He
up in
ran
the
around that
chair to
corner.
look
Let's go
around.
find him.
He's like, "Are you seriously telling me to follow that brother?"
He may
That's
or may
before the
not be.
security guards get him.
He may or may
Before
not
the
be
what?
chased.
Oh my god damn it. He like, you know, hits the little lever that brings the seat up, right? Hits the key, guns it, and like peels out in the hospital parking lot, like as he kind of peels out of the parking space, barely missing like people, pedestrians, and you guys are probably terrified on the inside because it looks like you're inches away from like several accidents, like right now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're like the centripetal force of the movement of the car is flinging you around. You know, you may or may not have your seatbelts on at this time.
Probably not.
Probably not. And
The 80s.
that's the 80s.
Seatbelts.
Seatbelt, seatbelt. So yeah, you guys are like flung against the sides. Before you know it, you're on the street. You kind of see Jude like hauling ass. Like he's now like 3 blocks away. You didn't know the kid can move like that. It was like it's like, why is he not running track? You thinking, Andy? You know, it's like, holy crap, he could totally blow those guys away. Yeah, you see you pass the, you know, the still puking guard. He's like still like he has that there's like that last little bit of bile in there. He's just desperately trying to get up. On the corner, you see the hot dogs on the ground. He did have mustard and ketchup, just so you know, in case you were wondering. But yeah, so he's like 3 blocks away. The security guard is keeping up and is actually keeping pace. He may be gaining. He may or may not be gaining. We don't know yet. So yeah, so Rigby speeds up. He's like, I never done this before. What do I do? Do I hit him? He kind of, for some reason, he looks to Alice for some kind of like, you know, this he's like he's like 16, 17 years old, and Alice is probably in the shotgun position next to him. He looks to Alice, he's like, what the hell do I do? I don't know how to stop this.
Slow to a roll.
And we caught up to them in the car.
You guys are in a car, so you will catch up to him. Yes. You're like on the verge of catching up, and something has to happen. Somebody has to do something, or you're just going to keep pacing them until one of them runs out of steam, and then figure out what happens from there.
Hint, it's probably going to be Jude.
Open the door. Let's get him in the car and take off.
Or are we talking about stopping the security guy first? Is that what you're saying?
Well, he's behind Jude.
Not by far.
I just say, but pull up ahead of them. Andy, get the. Is this a 4-door or a 2-door?
But don't you think we should take out the security guard first, so that when we stop to get Jude,
take him out?
He won't.
Okay, listen to
run
my
him
plan
over
first. Okay.
No.
All right.
Murder.
Jude
That's murder.
Pull up ahead of him. Is this a 4-door car?
Yeah.
Is this a 4-door sedan? Okay. So Andy and Mikey are in the back. Who's on the passenger side?
You are.
Let's say Andy is. Well, I'm in the front. You said I'm.
Yeah, in the front. Yeah, you're in the passenger side up front.
Okay.
Is that what we're talking about?
No, we're talking about who's on the passenger side.
So I'll pop the door and try to pull him in.
Yeah. So Rigby, pull up ahead of him, hit the brakes. Andy, you open the door before we stop, and you just grab Jude if he doesn't realize we're going to grab Jude and pull him in, and then we take off.
All right, Alice, roll a lead roll.
Furthermore, these rent-a-cops don't have any jurisdiction outside the hospital.
They don't know that.
Explain that to them.
We don't know that.
Yeah.
While Jude's running away, he's like, why are you chasing me? You don't make enough money.
You don't make enough money. Funny.
Okay. Well, I don't have any lead points, but I guess that's what this is, right?
Yep. So this is you kind of calling the shots and trying to get everybody to follow behind you, as it were.
All right.
Oh,
no successes. So they kind of try to do that. Everything kind of comes together to basically Rigby pulls out in front of the group. Andy opens the door and has kind of like the hand out towards kind of like that jump to me to the chopper type of hand out, yeah. And just as Jude is about to get his hand, that's when the security guard grabs him and tackles Jude to the ground. The vial rolls away in the road. What do you do?
Do we save the vial or save Jude?
Can you do both? I don't
save both.
I choose vial. Screw that, Jude.
What's my alignment?
Exactly. All right. What do you guys want to do?
Jump out of the car since the door was open and he's right there. Now, are there 2 guards on Jude? Or
no, there's just the one that's now tackled him and is rolling around with him on the ground. The other one long ago started puking. And this is like the older kid from school.
From high school?
Yeah, he's like 17 or so.
Yeah.
Send Andy.
So
what's Andy doing?
He's going to go help Jude, but as he's getting out of the car, he looks over at Mike. He says, "Hey, go grab the vial," and so then he's going to run over and try to. Since this kid's 17 and Andy's probably a pretty big kid, he's going to try to pull him off of him.
Okay. Okay, I think that'll be a fight roll.
A force?
Like force?
Force. Yeah, force. Sorry about that. Yeah,
All
force, fight. That's all. That's
Yeah,
everything.
force.
That.
We do have luck.
Yeah, you do have luck, and you can do your
Push.
thing. You can push it.
Something's. I have 0 for force, but I could have sworn I assigned myself force. What is my total? Should it be like 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 10?
At least 10, probably
Yeah.
more like 11 or 12.
Yeah, I can't. Something must have happened with my force, because I mean I'll go ahead and roll it anyways. But I could have sworn I had that at like at least a 2, because he's a jock. So I
Oh,
don't
gotcha.
know. Something happened.
Well, did you?
All right, well.
So let's just because we have a second. I don't want to break the momentum too much, but so I think it was. Let's see. So I think it's 10 points, and then I know you spent at least 2 experience points
And I had
worth.
2. Yeah.
Well, let's call it 2. Put 2 and force. I think that is what you did.
Yeah.
I'd have to go through the other videos, but I'm positive you spent it. You have to have spent at least 2 experience points so
Right.
far.
Okay.
Let's call it that. So
Sorry.
pop it in there and roll it. All right, 1 success.
Yeah.
All right, describe what you do.
So, this I recognize this kid. It's Dave Andrews. Hey, Dave, man, what are you doing? Get off him! And I kind of like pull him up and say, hey, he didn't do anything. Just leave him alone, man. Be cool.
Yeah, so this 17-year-old kid, he's kind of lanky as opposed to your bulk, kind of sort of even though you're younger, and he's like surprised that he's being pulled off of this kid. And he's like, you can tell he has this frenzied look in his eyes. Like, again, this is like the best day of his life. This is the most excitement they've had. He actually had to chase somebody down. He actually had to dive tackle. He dive tackled somebody, and he's like, suddenly he's being pulled off and he's shocked. He looks over at Andy. And again, you guys are now in the middle of the street at this point. And he's like, what the hell, man? He stole something from the hospital.
No, he didn't. I was with him. So, can I try to charm him?
Yeah, sure.
Or
yeah,
like,
if you have,
because I'm gonna frame it up like, oh, hey man, that was a great tackle, but you got the wrong guy. Like, we didn't do anything.
Okay, yeah, absolutely, charm. Go for it. Perfect.
All right.
One success. All right, yeah. So yeah, tell me what you say to him. Pretty much exactly that. You got the wrong guy. It wasn't us.
Yeah. Hey, that was a great tackle, dude. Man, you should go out for football. But seriously, like, we didn't do anything. We were just in the hospital. The alarm went off. We're like, oh god, we got to get out of here. And pretty soon the guards start hassling us. Like, wait a minute, there's a fire in the hospital. We're trying to get out, dude.
But the kid I was chasing had this violent. And he kind of looks towards Jude, and there's like nothing in Jude's hands.
Told you.
He's like crap. And his entire wonder and adventure in this moment is just deflated now. You've literally robbed him of the best moment of his life that he's had so far.
Seriously,
You robbed
seriously,
him.
dude, show up for football practice next week. Just telling you.
All right. Meanwhile, Mikey or Alice, are you going after the vial?
Oh, I definitely watched something about the vial. I think I know where it went, but I'm a little concerned about road traffic.
All right, Alice, are you doing anything?
Let's see. If Andy seems to have the guard pretty well under control. So I'm gonna go help Mikey grab up that vial.
Cool.
So Mikey's concerned about traffic. Is this a okay? So Alice, so Mikey, where'd the vial go?
There, right next to that Ninawake manhole cover.
Yeah, and there's cars going by. There's like a car, as he points it out, a car goes over where it is and like probably misses it by a couple inches. You know, there's now horns, like as you guys are literally blocking a lane of traffic, and people are still like going around. Again, it's summer, people are out and about. So if both, am I understanding both of you are like looking to basically get that vial as your goal here, yeah? All right.
So this is like Indiana Jones with the antidote.
Yeah, something like that. Alice, are you also trying to get the vial? Is that your goal?
Well, I wanted to find out where it was because Mikey was the one that, Andy said to go find it. So it's in the middle of the street by a manhole cover.
Yeah, and this is again, I do want to get this moving only because I want to kind of portray that
but
like
there's already a lane of traffic stopped. Is what you're saying?
No, they're going around you, and they're going, and there's cars going past past and over the vial. It is threatened to being destroyed at any moment. So, what do you guys want to do?
Okay, so Alice steps out into the road, and she holds up this clipboard that she still has, and along with her hand, to basically tell the traffic to stop.
All right, cool.
And so she's acting as a kind of a shield, so that Mikey can get to the vial and grab it.
All right, so let's do this.
Could Alice add a clipboard as an item and then give it a point to roll to help her roll? On the character sheet, you can add items and give them points.
Gotcha. I wouldn't call this just because no one really recognizes this as a symbol of authority or anything. He's just a kid in the middle of the street with a clipboard. It's a clipboard.
I'm just picturing this whole scene.
Yeah, it's like, so this little lanky girl is standing up with the clipboard, as this it's like, you shall not pass.
She's 5'9".
She's 5'9". She's taller than my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge.
All right, let's do this. I would like both of you to make a roll. Alice, you'll be rolling with charm. You're basically trying to intimidate or make anyone else go, stop. And Mikey, make a move roll. If either of you fail, you will be you'll be hit with
run over and killed.
No, you will not be run over. You'll not be run over and killed. However, you'll be injured or scared,
horribly maimed.
Yeah.
Scarred for life.
no, you'll be taken on.
That is not on the character sheet.
You'll got a maimed and no, you'll either take the condition scared or injured at your discretion should you fail.
Okay, so I'm rolling charm. What about what about rolling silvered shades with charm? Does that give me more points? Because I'm still, it's not just the clipboard. I'm also looking at it with those silvered shades.
Sure. Let's add in the shades. Let's go for it.
Okay. All right.
That is kind of her intimidation device. Ooh, 3 successes.
Oh my god.
All right, Mikey. Oh!
Can I use luck?
Yeah, use luck as you like. So
Can I give one of my successes to him, to Mike?
It has to be, it's a success in the same skill. Like if he was also trying to intimidate somebody, you could do that.
Sure.
Can I use another luck?
No, you can only use one luck. So choose injured or scared.
I'll try scared for 100, please.
All right. So let's see. So let's take a quick look, just to see, since Alice did get like 3 whole successes. Let's take just a quick look and see what that does to. Let's see. That's what we're looking for. Go. All right. So charm. Let's cover that real quick. So yeah, so Alice, yeah, you have your clipboard, using it as like a shield, and your mirror shades are freaking people out. You did roll 3 successes, so if you want, there are two bonus effects you can take.
Okay.
So what interests you?
Okay. Now when these refer to another person, is the other person people driving their cars?
It could be people driving their cars, people around. It could be Rigby.
Somebody crossing the street.
Somebody crossing the street. Somebody that's around this.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
The bus driver.
Okay. So yeah, somebody crossing the street. Somebody else crossing the street sees what's going on and takes a risk to help us, and also steps out into the street to make sure the traffic stops.
Okay. Is it a kid or an adult?
It's an adult.
Okay. Anybody we know? Anybody you know? Is it your anchor? Who's your anchor? Oh, actually, is it? How about? Could it be? Mikey's anchor, the cinema owner.
My anchor. Yeah.
I guess it could be.
Mr. Martin.
Does it carry an extra advantage if it is somebody's anchor?
It just makes for better story. Now
Yeah,
you've involved your anchor in this.
Okay, sure. All right, so it's Mikey's anchor.
And what's his name again?
Oh,
Mikey?
yeah, that actually does help, because he sees that he's also out there to help Mikey.
I'm scared.
He sees that Mikey is scared. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mikey, what is his name again, real quick?
So this person is
Mr. Martin.
Mr. Martin. Okay, continue, please, Alice.
okay. And let's see. She'll try to say. Okay, so this person is taking a risk, and they're also, because they're also helping to stop traffic, they are trying to persuade others to believe in what I'm trying to do.
Okay, so yeah, it's a very effective traffic stoppage, basically.
Yes,
cool.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, so the scene is basically, yeah, so Mr. Martin, Mr. Martin, did I get it right? Mr. Martin steps out, and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. He sees Mikey, especially. He's like, oh my God. And steps out, and then he's like, literally, he probably eats a lot of his own popcorn and stuff. So he's probably a larger man, and he's like, hey now, kids in the street. I don't know what the hell this car's doing here, but there's kids that stop. Really? You're trying to go around? You little sorry, kid. No, stop. And so next thing you know, you guys have literally caused a traffic jam.
Cool.
The main street of Ninawake, Wisconsin has been brought to a standstill in both directions. And it's starting to back up. You can see cars for at least 3-4 blocks in each direction at this point.
Well, plus there's got to be fire trucks and police heading toward the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, you're good. Really good point, Andy. So yeah, there's this added chaos of woo, and cars have to move away, and there's all sorts of this cacophony of sound, and now you can start to hear all those nasty words that your parents told you never to say being screamed by people from the cars because they're trying to get somewhere, and Mikey, I'm assuming you were you grabbed the vial and you looked up, and the car, it's like one of those scenes where the car bumper goes, Aah! And then literally 4 inches from your forehead stops. That's probably why you're scared. You're like,
Yeah.
one of those things where you're so freaking scared you can't even make the noise of scared. One of those bad boys. But Mikey, you do have the vial.
Okay, cool. And I see Mr. Martin.
Yeah, you see Mr. Martin. He's like this again. He and Alice are standing like guardian knights, stopping traffic from coming your way.
So I do whatever I can to kind of catch his attention, like, get me out of here type of look, like the scared child. Please take care of me. And and in hopes that he's just gonna take my hand and get me to the side of the road and
Yeah, he'll do the thing where he
rescue
basically
me.
like you're not a huge thing. He'll like do literally one of those things where he grabs you and like he kind of like he hugs you close to like scoot you out of traffic and plop you on the sidewalk. And he kind of gets down to your level, like gets down on one knee so he can look in the eye and starts talking to you. And while you're having that conversation, what is everybody else doing? Now that Mikey has the vial, everybody can see that probably. What's Andy doing? What's Jude doing? What's Alice doing?
So I'm going to be helping
It's one
Jude
thing
out.
that Mikey.
Yep.
Sorry, I was just saying. There's one thing that Mikey would say to Mr. Martin because it's kind of all he can think of is like, "This is for Julie."
He's like, he kind of nods. He's like, I'm sure it is. He's like, he has no idea what the fuck you're talking about. So yeah, let's hold on that conversation, and let's see where everyone else is. Where everyone else is at. What do you guys? So what is everybody doing? So Andy, you're helping up Jude.
Yep.
Jude's on the floor, just just holding his ribs. Andy helps him up, and he's like, "Oh, thanks. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you so
You
much.
okay, man?
Oh, that hurt. Oh, that hurt. Oh, I'd never do that. Oh, I've never run that fast in my life. Oh,
You should go off the track, man. You were
oh,
so fast.
never. Oh, I never want to do that again.
I never want to do that again. Screw track.
Is the security guard still here?
No, he's already left in defeat.
I guess since I see Mikey has a while and Alice is coming back, I look at Andy. I pat his shoulder. I say, "Oh, let's get in the car. Oh, let's get out of here."
Right. What's Alice doing? She's coming down from her superheroine stance.
Yeah, she's walked off the street, but holding everybody back until she gets off the street. And then she says to Mr. Martin, "Hey, dude, thanks a lot. That really helped out. I really appreciate it." And then says to Mikey, you got to get going, because we need to get this somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And she starts to help Mikey up.
Mr. Martin, we'll talk to you later, okay? Bye.
He's like, but you just don't. Are you okay? And like, you guys are. I'm assuming Alice has whisked Mikey away by this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is he actually like Is she actually like taking him by the hand and pulling him away? Is Mikey letting her or so?
I assume he would.
Mikey would let her for sure
on the curb. Yeah. So she's really
stars in his eyes.
Gotten her hand under his armpit and his elbow and lifted him up to a standing position, and then kind of, gently is pushing him toward the car.
Oh, is Mikey like playing it up?
Any slender thing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, the hearts and the eyes. So yeah, Rigby, Jude, as you know, he like plays like the bad boy, but inside he was homeschooled up until a certain age too. And he's like, by the time you get back to the car, he's looking at you like with freaked out eyes, like, I'm going to jail. That kind of look in his eyes, like he's like ready to be arrested, and this is it. This is it. This is his last moment of freedom. And what the fuck did you get him into? And what the hell's going on? I don't even know. And who's Julie?
Jude gets in the front seat with him, and he hits his brother's shoulder, and he says, "Oh my God, you're the coolest. You're so cool." Still like reeling from the tackle.
The other three are you're getting in the car also?
Yeah, we're getting in the back seat.
Okay. Yeah, Rigby's pulling himself together. He's kind of getting that persona back on, like a badass, cool dude, child maker. I hang with the cool kids. I'm the cool kid. And he kind of gets his shit back together. Puts the car back in drive. He only now realizes he'd almost like forced the brake into the literal floor of the car with the pressure he was putting on it. And he puts it back in drive. He's like, "Please buckle up." Like, he takes off, starts driving. He kind of cuts down a side street, and the traffic jam that you started and created is now slowly abating as people are kind of going about their ways. And
I'll be like, "Hey, does this car have a 350 in it? Let's see what it can do."
He's like, "No more law breaking today, child."
You're so cool when you break the law, though, bro.
He's like, "I know. All right." Like, he's like looking over to Jude, making sure Jude can see he's going like 5 over. And it's like, badass. Yeah.
Just feeling so cool.
Yeah.
Is this like a big old 70s car with some muscle to it, or is it like a?
It's probably like it's the best he could afford, so it would be like a 70s type car. A decent portion of it's made from raw iron.
Right.
And but yeah, so it has some punch behind it. It's still burning like leaded gasoline, regular as it were.
Has a carburetor.
Has a carburetor, all in yards. But yeah, so he's like, "Where the hell am I going, by the way?"
The library? Yeah, we got to go back to the library.
He like looks over to Jude. He's like, "Are you freaking serious? The library after all this? What's at the library?"
It's kind of important. You know what, bro? I really appreciate you doing this for us. You didn't have to.
Damn right, I didn't have to. He's like,
"We have to finish our book report."
You can tell
Mikey's gonna finish our book reports.
Never mind the fire at the hospital.
Don't worry about that.
We just dumped off.
That's over.
There.
We're never gonna talk about it again. It never happened for us.
Funny. Yeah, so Rigby, just to get you out of the car at this point, he kind of, again, still going the badass 5 over the speed limit, cruises around. Before you know it, you're at the library. He's like, "You guys can find your own way home. Now get the hell out of the car."
Thanks, man. You're the best.
Pop out.
Yeah. Think of give me gas money next time.
Love you, bro.
Yeah. It's like, he's heading off into the sunset.
How many miles do you think we went? I can calculate that.
I can calculate that. Yeah, Rigby's already gone. He's like, "I don't even want it. It's not worth it." And like Mikey's sitting there with like a $10 bill. Okay.
Well, at least he didn't say ass grass or cash. Otherwise, it's free.
There is that. Looks like it was gas or cash, hopefully, because that's the last thing Andy needs on his record at this point.
That charge?
Yeah, the grass charge. So yeah, you guys are at the
and falsely pulling an alarm at the hospital.
Yeah, good times.
Charge for that.
Well, Mikey's a badass. We're good.
We had a really good reason for that, though.
Yeah, right.
We had to get off a lockdown floor. What are you gonna? What else were we gonna do?
You had to steal.
I had to.
Officer, Your Honor,
Wow, that
I'm here to
worked
tell
just
you.
like it does in the movies.
Your Honor, I couldn't steal it if I didn't do that.
So
I
yeah,
guess we're going back to the hideout.
heading back to the
Yeah.
hideout. Cool. Why don't we?
Deliver.
Yeah, since this is kind of a good break point. Would you guys mind taking our break a few minutes early today?
Sure.
I'm down.
Yep, that's
That's
fine.
cool. Good
All right.
timing.
Okay, yeah, it's just kind of a good pacing here. Now that we're kind of all through that, this is a cool halting area, so we can get into kind of the next scene.
Right.
All right, I will see you guys in 10.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, we are back. So yeah, so before the break, the kids had completed their mission. They got the vial. They're back at the clubhouse, or just coming up the drain tunnel, storm tunnel, or whatever. Hopping back up into the actual clubhouse hideout itself, and they're kind of listening to what did you leave her with, Mikey? What was the record?
Oh, what did I leave her with?
Yeah, you left her with at least a record, I think, and you told her, "Oh, this is really cool.
I thought
You'll
was
like it."
Duran.
Oh yeah, I don't remember actually.
All right.
I thought it was somebody else who did that, but
Yeah,
what's
It was Duran.
okay?
I left
okay.
her.
Like Seven and the Ragged Tiger, or
When I
Cool.
left her, I put on Jim Croce.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
oh yeah.
Okay. Well, for kicks, we'll say she switched to Duran Duran and listening to it, and she's kind of has like I'm sure you guys have like blankets or something there that you have just because, and she's like wrapped in one, and one of those desk lights that's kind of set up on a what do you guys have modded it to the wall or something where it's like shining down. So she has this little cone of light that she's sitting in. Record player is right next to her, record going, and she hears you guys come in and gives a start as you guys kind of all come up from the hole. What do you guys do?
You won't believe what happened.
She's like, "Are you okay?"
I don't think so. I don't think I'm ever gonna be okay again ever.
It's like, "Oh no, what happened?"
I'll let these
So-
guys tell it.
I mean, do we quickly just 5 minutes just explain what happens, or do you want us to actually?
Yeah, just give her like the in character lowdown. She
I think
she stands up
Alice
and drops the towel off.
We'll explain right away, but first we've got your medicine. I think you need to take it. Do we know? Was this a syringe or was this?
It was like a vial with a syringe inside it.
Oh, so somebody's got to inject her.
Or she can inject herself.
Yeah,
do you know how to use this?
She's like, I've seen it used, but I'm not sure. Could one of you guys just do it? Real quick, please.
Nobody's mom's a nurse.
My mom's an art teacher.
An art teacher. That is totally applicable. Definitely, you're the man.
I guess Andy, my mom's a elementary school teacher. It's possible she has to use a syringe, but
Is it possible that you guys would have informed Mikey of her age? Like, could Mikey have picked that up?
I don't think we've had that conversation yet. So let's say, yeah, this shit's been going so fast and so furious that Mikey doesn't know about any of that.
Okay, then I'll save my comment.
Okay. I'm just what skill would?
I'm really not going to worry about a skill. I'm not going to worry about a skill in this point. It's a matter of role play as to who can handle plopping a needle into somebody else's body and injecting them is the question here.
So Alice says, well, give me the vial. She takes the syringe out and says to
Julie.
Julie, and says to Julie, where do we normally use this?
And she kind of pulls aside the gown she has on. Or actually, I suppose it's a shirt she has on. You guys got her clothes. And she kind of pulls up the sleeve, and she's like in the meaty part.
Yeah. Okay. Andy, you wouldn't happen to have stashed some alcohol in here, would you?
Well, it just so happens.
Because we should probably wipe her arm, give it a little
I do have some Phillips vodka here that will probably do the trick. Let me just go look see.
Oh wow, it's Phillips. It's not. It's vodka.
It's all I can afford.
It's vodka.
So he goes and he rummages around back and comes back with it's one of these little, kinds you buy at the gas station, a little mini bottle. But, well, I was saving it for a special occasion. I guess this will do.
All right. Anybody have a clean handkerchief?
Yeah, I have one in my my jacket.
Any kind of clean cloth we can.
Jude will bring out a small handkerchief that he keeps in his jacket pocket, for just such an occasion, and hand it to you.
Right, thank you. So Alice wets the handkerchief, wipes Judy's arm. Julie's arm.
Close enough.
And holds holds the needle above her arm and sort of takes a big breath and squints a little bit and pushes it in, and then pushes the plunger in and pulls it out.
Yep. So yeah,
and then wipes the arm again just for good measure.
Yeah, wipes the arm. Good job. Yeah, so you do that, and you kind of as the needle penetrates the skin, Julie, you can hear goes, "Ugh!" And then as you withdraw it and you kind of wipe the area again, it's still bleeding just a little, but this was such a thin needle that obviously it's not going to be bleeding out or anything like that here. But she as soon as she's injected, she collapses back to the ground, like where she dropped the blanket that she was holding around her before, and she kind of she's flops to the ground uncontrollably and is leaning against the wall, and she's like, I think it's doing what it's supposed to do, but I'm scared. What do you guys do when you're scared? What do you think about?
Andy takes a
prime
swig
numbers.
of vodka.
Jude was gonna sit down next to her and say, when I'm scared, I just kind of I think about my brother and my family and the things that make me feel safe. It always helps when you have a blanket. It's like somebody's hugging you, you know?
Yeah, she just on reflex, she kind of grabs onto Jude's hand, and then she reaches out to Mikey, as if she's like, "What do you do? What do you do, Mikey, when you're scared?"
I count prime numbers.
She actually comes out of her fugue state just long enough to kind of give you the. And she gently lets your hand, pushes your hand on the ground and then lets go of it, as if that's not a great idea for me type of gesture, and looks back towards Jude and pulls the blanket around herself. She's she kind of, you see her start to shiver, uncontrollably, not just, I would say just short of a seizure type fit. But she still seems in control of her body overall. It's just a lot of shaking suddenly. And then she's she looks around at you guys, and you can all see the fear in her eyes. This is maybe you guys haven't even been this afraid before. But you see this kind of this look in her eye, this windows to her soul type of situation where it's is this going to work or am I going to die? You can tell that's totally going through her brain.
What is it supposed to do for you?
See, so she's like, Joseph. And you remember that being the name of the man she was with. She kind of, and then she like, her seizure thing kind of calms down, and she looks at Mikey after his question, after, again, several seconds just kind of trying to deal with their physical situation, and she's like, supposed to keep me from dying, and it worked. And things are becoming clearer now. She gets up and she stands up, and she has this kind of, she has a stance like this stature, this what's the word, the way you sit and the way you walk,
Like I suddenly feel like
posture?
I'm with an adult.
Yeah, exactly. Posture. Yeah, posture. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. But yes, yeah, you suddenly feel like this is like an adult that's about to lecture you or something like that. And she stands up, and Alice's like, authority senses start tingling, and she's like, but not really. But yeah, everyone kind of picks up on that her demeanor has suddenly changed from this little girl to something else.
Jude, seeing this, is gonna look at her, because he was sitting like down next to her, and then when she gets
Right.
up, she's like, she moves. He's gonna look up at her when she gets up, and it's like her whole posture changes. It's like she becomes a different person. Jude's gonna look at her and say, "How old are you really?"
And she looks at towards Jude very pointedly, and let's see here. Good question. Let me check my notes. I got it right.
I think it was 89.
1 second. Hold on. I got it here.
I have it written down here. Girl in hospital.
89.
Female. 89.
Okay, yeah,
5'9".
Yeah, she looks towards you and she's like, "I'm almost 90 years old."
What
How is that possible?
She's like, and by the way, as a note, I watched some of my clips of my own voice, me talking in for other sessions, and I say like too much, so I'm gonna try to stop that.
Mm-hmm.
But she looks at Andy and says, "I was part of an experiment. Eldrin was conducting an experiment for people who were terminal, and I was, and you all literally saved my life. So the first series of injections we got brought about this change that you see here in slow increments, but there was one more set that was needed to stabilize it, or at least that's the experiment. It seems to have worked." And she looks over towards Alice and actually walks over to her and takes a hold of that clipboard. She's like, she says, "Do you mind if I take this, dearie?"
Deary.
Oh, no, not at all.
She takes a clipboard and flips it towards you guys, and you can see final phase reiterate. And it was, there's 2 columns. One is final injection, one is placebo. And Julia's name is in placebo.
Ooh.
She's like, "God damn, I really had to figure out how not to say like." She says, "I saw this exact clipboard, and basically I was going to be reverting to my old state where I was terminal, where I was dying of organ failure, multiple organs. My kidneys, my lungs, my liver, all a matter of days. If you kids hadn't gotten this injection for me, within probably days I would have reverted, and then days after that I would have died. And
So what will you do now?
Well, if the experiment works like it's supposed to, I'm a kid again. I have my memories.
So you get to live your whole life over again? That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can do it here, but...
Where will you live? You don't have parents.
You know, there are places to go. I don't have parents anymore, obviously. Even my children are gone, but I do have my grandson, Joseph. And
he was your grandson.
Yes. And he's just at the right age to take me in, and his life is in a place where I think that's quite possible.
So he knows this. He knows you're his.
He was the one who got me out of the experimentation ward to begin with.
Ah, okay.
And then we tried to escape, and that's when you kids came upon us. And I cannot begin to tell you how thankful I am that happy coincidence happened. I don't think... She shakes her head. I don't think anyone will ever know this, because Elgin will shut whatever you say down. They're a corporation. I know you don't understand how corporations and companies and kind of people in charge tend to, they manipulate information. What you get, what you don't get. They shut down what they don't want people to hear.
That's not fair.
And Alice is nodding and thinking about her parents as she's listening to this.
And
they would have gotten away with it, except for us.
Exactly. Pretty much exactly, actually. So, yeah, so she says, so no one's ever going to hear about this, but you're heroes. Wherever you go from here in life, I want you to know that you have a friend. I want you to know that if someone tells you you're not worth it, if someone tells you you're not doing what you should be doing in life, I want you to remember today. I want you to remember how you risked it all for a kid you didn't even know, who all you knew about her was that she was a young little thing and she was in trouble and she was in fear for her life. And it took nothing else except that for you guys to risk your lives, to risk everything to go in there potentially. You didn't know who was in there. So, on days when you're feeling bad, and there will be many of those, kiddos, when you're feeling blue, when you feel like you did it all wrong and you'll never amount to anything, I'm here to tell you, as someone who has experienced a lot in life, that you have a good foundation and you can only go good places. And she turns to you guys and she looks like she wants to give each of you like a hug. And you guys can accept it or not in turn. She'll start with Alice.
Alice kind of bends down a little bit because she's shorter than Alice. And gives her a nice enveloping hug.
Yep, you feel it back, and she whispers in your ear, "Not just anybody would have given me the injection to save my life, so thanks." And then she lets go of Alice and goes over to Mikey and goes to give him a hug.
Mikey's totally nervous about that because, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in his head. It's really averting that this 11-year-old girl suddenly casts off these vibes of being a total adult, and it's somewhere in the back of his head he's a little offended that there's an adult in our hideout.
Right. Awesome.
That drives him crazy a little bit. But then he also can't help but notice how cute this 11-year-old girl is, and he's 12, right?
Right.
So like he definitely, well, he hesitantly accepts that hug, and then he's off in La La Land after that. So
Yeah. Yeah, she hugs him back, and she whispers into his ear, like, she's like years from now you're gonna meet a cute girl that you can kind of grow up with and learn about, and I only hope she's worthy of you, kiddo. Thank you.
get like the hair ruffled.
The hair ruffled, yeah, little ragamuffin. And she goes to Andy next.
So Andy gives her a hug too. Here's looking at you, kid.
Like she whispers in his ear, How did that go in that one movie I saw? Don't get cocky, kid. And then she, after she hugs Andy, she kind of breaks away and goes to Jude.
Jude will get up and give her a hug too.
Just so you know, Jim Croce was one of my favorites. I don't know how you knew that or how you felt it, but you're okay, kiddo.
It's just so good.
And she pulls away. So, why don't you? I want to hear about your heroics before I go, but I have Joseph's number and I can give him a call once I find a phone. But what happened? And she's looking for like the synopsis from one of you or all of you, or
maybe it's like that scene of like everybody talks at once, and now the tension's broken, so like we're all excited and arms are flaring, and
yeah. So the story is
away.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those. That's awesome. So yeah, everyone is telling their own versions, and suddenly
Alice is letting the rest of you tell the story. She doesn't feel any need to.
Yeah, she's thinking, I was the story. I don't need to tell a story. And the tales are told of dodging security guards and
throwing up hot dogs,
throwing up hot dogs and fire alarms and a mysterious fire extinguisher we're still not quite sure of the use of, and then the chase and the traffic jam and the vial rolling down the street.
At some point, though, Alice does jump in there and say, she picks up the clipboard again and says, "I stop the traffic."
and everybody's like, Jude's like, he might as well have been, the road runner for as speedy as everyone describes him, cruising down the street. Like his after image is still there when he's like a block away, something like that. And by the end of the story, what's it?
I was just saying, it's kind of like that Stand By Me moment where we're all kind of reflecting on like what happened and falling back in laughter now.
Right, exactly. And because of that, Mikey, you can clear your afraid.
Yay.
So by the end of the tale, she has this big smile on her face, and she again, her whole facade, her whole posture is changing. She looks at you as like a pleased parent would, and kind of beams down at you, and with this big, just wide smile. And with that, she blows you a kiss and turns away and says, "I gotta call Joseph. Maybe we'll meet again, kids."
Just no adults. Just don't tell anybody about this place. It's kind of like a little secret, and you're the only other person who knows. So just maybe kind of don't tell anybody, please.
She laughs. Not even Joseph. Our little secret.
Really crosses his heart.
Yeah, she does the same. And with that, she hops down the tunnel and fades out of view. What do you guys do after that?
I'm hungry.
Mikey goes for the logical answer.
I think we have some pizza still on the mini fridge, Mike.
There's some hot dogs in there too.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was insane.
Yeah, she was like 90 years old.
I just hope nobody
90.
catches on to that it was us.
God, you know what? It what would they say? What would we say? It's already been done. What are you gonna get arrested? What are they gonna tell the police?
I guess you're right.
We're free. We're in the clear. Everything's cool. I got my ass kicked today.
Yeah. How are your ribs?
Oh, they hurt. They've been hurting for a while. Yeah, they're really sore. It's like, have you ever exercised? Just my whole body right now, my lungs, my legs. I've never run that far or that fast. It was mostly adrenaline. I feel so tired.
Yeah, you got to put some ice on those ribs, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, that would be wise. Uh, we still got an hour in the stream, right?
We sure do. So we're going to be going to mundane scenes, and then we'll see where we go. If you guys want to like start off another adventure, we can do that. But let's see where this hour takes us. So yeah, I'll see you guys after this. You kind of have your buddy time. Again, it's just like it's this situation like Mikey described, where it's a celebration of what's just happened. Like, you suddenly have all this time on your hands. You're not under the gun. You can actually react to all the things you felt, and all the emotions that were going through your head. You're able to get out and that kind of thing. And after that, it's time to go home. The street lights are coming on. It's time to head back and end another day of summer, slowly moving towards the end. I think you guys are about just a little over halfway through the summer at this point, and but you still have another month and a half left-ish to do with as you will, and kind of live that
July.
life. Yeah, I'd say you're like you're probably late July, mid late July, so you're by August, September you're going back. And time to go home. So let's do some mundane scenes. Anyone want to start us off?
Well, I just want to say that Mikey has been hard at work on his research paper for Taiwan. So he's up to 34 pages now.
Oh my goodness. Awesome. All right, you want to start us off, Mikey?
Sure.
All right.
So I think like leaving that scene, Mikey always wants to try and fill the house because his parents are never around. So like he'd be like, and even though people are probably going home, he's always trying to invite people over. Like, you guys should come over. I could get a sleepover. We'll have pizza, right? But it probably just never seems to work out. And so next morning he's waking up expecting his parents to like not be there, or at least. And did you say we're on a weekday or a weekend now?
I believe this is a third. I think this is Thursday, so we'll say.
Yeah, it's like Friday morning.
Yeah, we can even
Yeah.
you can even go further ahead in the future if you want. You know,
Oh yeah.
the
Okay.
mundane time where it's not really tied to anything. So if you want to skip ahead a
Okay.
few days, go right ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a day where mom's definitely out traveling. She's not going to be back for a couple of days. Dad's in his routine of, you know, let's make sure we do our calisthenics and keep your, make sure your bed is made. And, he gives like a 2-second room check every morning for Mikey's room to make sure everything's orderly. And of course it is. And like, Mikey's standing there just waiting for like to please his dad, by showing his room being so perfect. And go through breakfast and whatnot. But then like I think something happens, something snaps within Mikey, and uh he just starts to argue with his dad at breakfast for no reason. Like and he doesn't know why. It's just that he really um doesn't want to do anything anymore that like his dad wants him to do, right? um and so it starts off little, like uh the typical, Mikey, finish your breakfast, and Mikey's like, I don't wanna. you know?
We have entered the evil teen years, bitch. Mm.
and the his dad is, being very oh, what's the word, not placating, like like when people look down on you or treat you, you know with
Condescending.
yeah,
Sort of
condescending.
condescending.
Yeah. So his dad, typical condescending power move. He's like, you finish your breakfast, and Mike's like, I don't wanna. And dad puts down the paper and looks at Mikey, and he gives him the final command, like, you finish your breakfast. And Mikey says, I don't wanna. And then he flips the bowl at his dad.
Oh my
Like,
god!
yeah, gets him covered in, milk or whatever. And then tear asses out the door, like goes out the front door, because at this point his heart is beating so fast, and like he's flooded, with emotion.
Oh my
doesn't
goodness!
know doesn't know what's hitting him.
Is this
And
like a corporal punishment household or not? Because in the 80s that was
no,
still totally cool, by the way.
yeah, no, it's not a corporate punishment. But it's just like he's never disobeyed like that before, and
Right.
it has no, just can't, he can't put it together right now that like all of the stress of his parents doing what they're doing is really kind of at the root of this. But for him, it's just all he knows is like he has to change something. Like he has to make a difference somehow. And it seems utterly impossible, right? So like um all he knows is that he's got to resist right now and stand up for himself, but he just doesn't know what to stand up for. So
Right. Gotcha.
I don't know how much further that goes, except he's gonna probably hop on his 10 speed and bike until he can't bike anymore, and then be out in the middle of somewhere strange with some cool ass old robot on a hill, and just park under that all sweaty and out of breath, and uh you know stare off and start thinking about like, what is he really going to do?
Right. Yeah, so I can imagine the scene. You're on this, like, little hill overlooking, kind of like in a park area or something, overlooking another part of the burbs, with like a patrol, like, damn it, with a patrol robot kind of walking around, and robot sees you, one of those two-legged bad boys, and just kind of stops. And it's kind of weird, probably, as it actually straddles you, like it's over you, and like it's as if it's sheltering you, like, instinctively, like, so it's like an instinctive protection of you, if you
Yeah,
if you
he
had to figure
probably
out.
wouldn't be threatened by that at all. Like that's he's seen that 100 times type of thing, right?
Right.
So
maybe
he's
it even
just
starts raining, and gosh darn, I really do say that a lot. And the robot's sheltering him from the rain as it comes down. All right. Anything to add on that scene, or should we cut to the next?
Nope, that's it.
That seems appropriate. So good job. Who wants the next one? How
I'll
about
go.
all right,
Well-
and Andy. So Andy, unless you had something, I'll go with it. But let's hear what you got.
Well, I was just going to say on the way home, he's reflecting on the whole sort of somebody who's 90 years old is a kid again. Like that's just he's like trying to process that.
Right. That's 90 is what, 8 times over Andy's age type of thing.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
was born in 1996 or 1896.
Right. So yeah, so Andy's kind of going through that and not really paying attention to surroundings. By the time he gets home, he sees his dad, and looks like his dad is not too long ago pulled in, and he's sitting on the rear bumper of the car as it sits outside of the garage. And he has this big grin on his face as he's looking at you as you're kind of approaching.
Hey, Dad.
Like, son, I was impressed with you today, I gotta say.
With me?
Yeah. I saw how you protected your buddy there from that bully. Just because they wear any kind of a badge doesn't mean they get to push you around.
Oh, you saw us?
Yeah, I was trying to get home, and I got stuck in your little traffic jam. Ha ha ha. But here I am. So I'm glad you stood up for your buddy. And I'm glad Fist didn't really have to fly too much, but I saw you get that guy off your friend, and that's character. That's character. You stand up for your buddies.
Oh, I was just doing the right thing, Dad, like you taught me. You know, we were getting chased for no reason, and so I just said, hey, you know, gotta help him out. And although it was a pretty good tackle, you gotta admit, but you know,
He kind of brushes that off. He's like, your friend okay? Looked like he kind of took it hard, and he didn't look like looked like he's more of the squishy type, not used to taking a hit.
yeah, that's probably fair. His ribs are kind of bruised. I told him to put some ice on it. You know, he'll be all right though. I mean, he just kind of he hit the ground pretty hard, but you know, the guy that tackled him, you know, was $1.25. So I mean, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, you know, I mean, he's a good guy. He's a good kid.
Well, I'm proud of you, son. Again, I think if Fist had to fly, you would have taken him too. Glad you didn't have to come to that. Sometimes it's your stance. It's your stance of power that puts these bullies at bay. And you had it. You had it there. I saw it. I saw it sure as plain as day.
Yeah, well, you know, I was thinking, you know, doing my best, sort of Clint Eastwood, you know.
He's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So, Dad, I have a question. If you could be my age again, would you?
Like, if I forgot everything?
No, like if you could just be 14 again right now, would you, or would you rather go back in time, like Back to the Future, and like go back to age 14 back then?
You can see he's actually giving it some thought, because he's like, because he says kind of, so would I actually be back in the year when I was that age, or would I be now that age?
You'd be my age now. Just as a, just thinking.
That's a really good question. I don't know. I mean, I'd like another shot at the state, state title back in in football. I missed it was my fault. I missed the last tackle. That was on me. Never got to state. Like another shot at it, but here's a little truth for you, kid. Being a kid kind of sucks. Everyone has, you don't get to make your own way. Everybody's telling you what to do, and I get that, but that's kind of what we have to do to keep you safe at this point. On the other hand, some of the best times of my life were with my buddies back then. I don't know, kiddo.
Because doesn't being an adult kind of suck?
Yeah. So that's kind of the bad news I was gonna kind of protect you from, Andy. There's no point in your life that doesn't suck for one reason or another. The reasons literally just change to other reasons. When you're not an adult, it's all about not having the freedom to make your own way in the world and make your own decisions and make the important calls in your life, right? And then when you're an adult, you get to do all those things, but then you lose out on the freedom of having a summer off, being with your buds. It's sorry, kid. I was hoping to kind of keep that from you for at least a couple more years. But yeah, all years of your life will likely suck for one reason or another. And it's just a matter of how much do they suck? And are you going to make them suck less? Are you going to be a winner? Are you going to be a loser? And there we are.
Okay.
And he's like,
it's not exactly Mike Brady, but I'll take it.
It's literally the best you could have hoped for.
All right, Dad. Thanks. I'll stroll into the house.
Yeah, I got some pizza there in the oven. Why don't you grab it out when it's done? The little timer will go off. You deserve some pizza tonight, kid.
Thanks, Dad.
Cool. All right. Let's see. Who does that leave us with? Jude and Alice. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Alice can go.
Apparently, Alice.
It's huh?
Go ahead.
Was it a tie? Okay.
You're good. Go.
Alice. Okay. Alice leaves the hideout and starts riding her skateboard. And thinking about what Julie said about how the corporation was treating her, she's just getting more and more mad as she's riding her skateboard.
It's totally stewing it up, yeah.
Yeah, and she she rides around a bit until it really gets past dusk into nighttime. Skates back home, but goes into the garage and picks up a pail of paint and a paintbrush and a stepladder that's in the garage. And brings it out and hikes to Eldrin Labs. And there's the sign in front of Eldrin Labs is it's sort of nondescript. It just says Eldrin Labs, and it's got like 3 of these, shaded, lights above it. And she picks up rocks, throws rocks at the lights until she knocks them all out. So she's knocked out the lights above the sign. She sets up a stepladder in front of the sign, climbs up there, and underneath Eldrin Labs, she paints Death Corp. And climbs back down, folds up the ladder, goes back home, hikes back home. And by the time she gets back home, it's getting to be pretty late, like, maybe 10 o'clock at night. She's also, before she left the hideout, she took, I forget what it's called, but basically that like folder that's got like what Susan's folder that's got
the Trapper Keeper.
Yeah. And so she goes into the house and it's quiet because it's after 10 o'clock at night. And she goes over to the sofa where she had originally stole it from, lifts up the cushion and slides it underneath the cushion. And it's a little stinky with sewer smell at this point. She goes, climbs the stairs to her room, goes in there, and there's sort of typical, for this sort of house, there's a heating vent, which isn't really being used in the summer. And then there's also like a cold air return vent. And she pulls the grate off of the cold air return vent. And there's a joist, a floor joist that runs through the middle of the vent. And she reaches down next to the joist and way in the back, grabs something and pulls it out. And it's a folder and a notebook of the information she's collecting to try and prove what really happened to her parents. And she sits on her bed and starts reading through it. And then we can fade to black.
Cool. All right. Sounds good. Awesome. I do have a scene planned for you, a mundane scene when we start next time, so kind of keep that in mind. Just a heads up. So, and that's this is a good segue. So cool. Let's go to Jude. Jude.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything planned, or should I go?
I don't have anything planned. No.
All right. So your mundane scene is sitting at the dinner table with your parents on one side and you and Rigby on the other. I forget, he's your only sibling, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So it's the four of you. It's you guys are eating TV dinners. These are I'm not sure if you got the Salisbury steak or if you got the turkey with gravy.
No, he's most definitely a turkey with gravy kind of a guy.
Okay, and you have like the little pockets of the little tinfoil pan, and you have the green beans and carrots in perfect squares, cut perfectly by the machines that put them in there and then froze them, and you have a those lights going on and on. Oh, jeez. Oh my God, am I losing electricity? There's a storm passing overhead, so if I cut out, that's it. But where was I? Oh, yes. So yes, and like the thing next to it, you have the cherry cobbler, which is just this molten cherry mix with like a crust around it that is like leaked over into everything else, as they do. And you're all kind of eating your TV dinners, and your dad looks across the table. He's like, "So what'd you boys get into today?" And Ruby immediately looks to you like, "I don't even know where to," it's like
I met up with I went to that hospital show and tell. Is that what you call it? Exhibition or something like that.
Dad's
that was cool.
Oh, the open house.
Yeah,
Got
that's
it?
right. Yeah, the open house.
Yeah, Rigby, did you go pick up your brother from that? Well, I know you left to pick him up.
He did, yeah. He did pick me up from that, and then he kind of hung out with me and my friends for a little bit. But I mean, he's like, I don't know. Rigby's older. You're older, right, Rigby? You don't really want to hang out with kids like us.
He turns and decides to go with your story, your line. He says, "Yeah, I dropped the kid off, hung out for a bit, but it hurts my rep to be seen with the kids. You know what I mean, Dad?" Your mom and dad kind of shake their head. "Oh, you shouldn't worry about what other people think. Just do the right thing. If you want to be with your brother, then be with your brother. If you get seen with kids, then that's their problem."
What did you do today, Dad?
He stares at you and he says, "Well, I mailed out some resumes.
Oh, that's fun. Anything? Can you get anything back or no?
Not yet, but and he looks to the three of you, that that fatherly aura going, and he says, "Well, I still have my job, but I'm losing sort of my pride, and I'm looking for the other jobs, but maybe I can still make this work at Eldrin. We'll see."
Oh man, I hope so. Yeah. What about you, Mom? Have a good day.
So mom is yeah, she's, oh wow, I can't even begin to tell you how tough it was. Have you ever tried to teach third graders to play the recorder? And the answer there is no. I know you haven't. Okay, but let me tell you, it's the simplest instrument in the world, and it's still very hard. It still takes a lot, and they make horrible noises with them, and they're out of sync, and it's horrible to listen to. And I'm sorry, I'm just feeling frustrated today. I didn't mean to lay that on you kids. It's not your deal. But it was a long day. It was a long day, and I'm feeling a little of the edge off of it. So, and let me tell you, this turkey and this gravy really take that edge off. So I'm thankful for TV dinners and for my family.
Yeah, thanks for getting this ready.
Oh, your dad did that.
Thanks, Dad.
Dad's puffs himself up. He made dinner.
He made dinner.
Yeah, he preheated that oven like a gourmet chef, and he put it in there for the 32.2 minutes that you're supposed to put it in there for, and he took it out right in time. He pulled the tin foil off the top when you were supposed to, just like the instructions say, but not everybody does. And that costs them. That costs them flavor.
It cost him. Mm-hmm.
Okay?
He let it sit for the appropriate amount of time.
It took the appropriate amount of time. So yeah, he kind of goes back to eating. He's accomplished something. And Rigby looks over towards you with this just guilty look on his face. Again, he kind of plays at the whole, bad boy persona, but he's more similar to you than he likes to admit to. And he just kind of shakes his head, and he kind of leans over to you. He's like, "Never again."
I mean, maybe sometimes we gotta help people when they need help.
And he leans over to you. He's like, "Maybe again."
Maybe still. Doubtful. The doubtful again.
All right. Cool. So that's the last mundane scene. We have a bunch of time. So I was thinking we do experience, and then, like I said, I usually try to do like a little appropriate discussion for, coming down from a session. So why don't we go over XP real quick? Let's start with Jude. You ready, Jude?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Excellent. All right. So did you participate in the session, Jude?
I did. Yeah.
Yes, that's one. Have you been in trouble because of your problems or your relationships?
No.
Well, actually,
Oh, that was yes. It was
it was your relationship.
my relationship. Yes,
I
I almost
gotcha.
forgot about that.
Yep.
Thanks.
It still counts, even though, again, different session, still same situation. Did you use or struggle with your pride?
No, I would say.
Okay. Did you put yourself at risk for the other kids? Damn right you did.
You show enough.
Show enough. And did you learn something new? And if so, what is it?
It only takes the right attitude and posture to look like you're the oldest adult in the room, even if you're like an 11-year-old girl.
Funny. All right. 4 XP for Rigby. For Jude.
Yes, for Jude.
Yeah, Rigby should get some points for this.
Rigby. Rigby is already not a kid anymore, so he doesn't count.
Oh, that's true, yeah. All right.
All right. How about Andy? Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Did you participate in the session, Andy?
Yep.
All right. Have you been in trouble because of your problem or your relationships?
Not this one.
Okay. Did you use or struggle with your pride?
Yes.
Cool. Did you put yourself at risk for the other kids?
Yes.
Definitely. And have you learned something new? If so, what is it?
I would say that Andy is learning, like he's piecing together this whole kind of like Alice. It seems like all of this stuff is centering around the lab, and like he's starting to sort of realize that there's something going on in this town, and it's all centered around driven labs.
Cool. That's an important thing to learn. Kind of sobering for just a little kid to learn this. All right, so that's 4 XP for Andy. How about Mikey? Are you ready? Is that a yes? Ooh, you might be muted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, now I can hear. Okay, cool. Mikey, did you participate in the session?
I did.
All right. Have you been in trouble because of your problem or your relationships?
Definitely because of my problem. And yeah, my problem.
All
with,
right.
My mom and dad.
Awesome. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Did you use or struggle with your pride?
Did I use or struggle with my pride? So my pride is
Being
oh yeah, definitely. I'm the go-to technical guy. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Like cracked the code on the door.
No, that was
I guess
last
that was
session.
last time. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I don't know if I really did in this session.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you put yourself at risk for the other kids?
Oh, for sure.
Yep. And have you learned anything new this session? If so, what is it?
Yeah. Similar about something about how corporations can't be trusted, right? But more specifically, we're talking about Eldrin Labs, and there's something that Mikey doesn't really want to face is the fact that his dad works for Eldrin Labs. He's a director of projects for Eldrin Labs. So he's now got to wonder, like, what does that mean exactly? Like, how is my dad evil? What's going on there? And that really can't be. Like, in his head, that cannot be. So,
but at the same time, his very logical brain's like, Eldrin Lab seems evil. My dad works for them, and but he's not. But how does he not evil?
Yeah, but he's not evil. There's no way.
But then these two bits of logic.
Yeah.
All right. 4 XP for Mikey. And last but not least, Alice. Are you ready for XP?
Sure.
Cool. All right, Alice, did you participate in the session?
Yes.
Yes. Have you been in trouble because of your problem or your relationships?
I don't know how direct it would be. I mean, the day started out with me, at least with my aunt accusing me of something that I actually did, although I denied it, which was to steal Susan's thingy.
Right, that was last session, though.
Called.
Trapper Keeper.
Oh, that was the last session. This is so confusing.
You're doing fine.
Okay. Say the question again.
Have you been in trouble because of your problem or your relationships? I don't think so.
I don't know if it's in trouble. I don't think so. I think I certainly was trying to get in trouble with the sign, but not in trouble, I think, yet.
Okay. Well, we can table that for another session of mundane time. All right. So did you use or struggle with your pride?
Oh, definitely tried my best to not take shit from no one.
With stopping the traffic, I definitely think that
several
counts.
different. Yeah, definitely stopping traffic. Definitely vandalizing the lab sign. So
Okay. All right.
I certainly did that.
Okay. Did you put yourself at risk for the other kids? Yes.
Stopping the traffic.
Yep, absolutely. And have you learned something new? If so, what is it?
I learned that Eldrin Labs and all of these loop corporations have got to be evil, because because Julie just came right out and said it, and she's almost 90 years old. She knows what she's talking about.
And I gotta think that there's some kind of inner Alice conflict, like Buck Authority. She's 90. I'm not supposed to trust her, believe her, but I believe her and trust her, and this whole inner conflict, I'm sure, has to be happening. But yeah, it's okay. That counts. So let's go
I think
for it.
so. I think Alice completely bought her story and is entirely on Julie's side.
Okay, awesome, perfect. Let's call it 4 XP for you then.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, we do have a little time left before we have to get off. But I think this mystery kind of again kind of like Andy posed. Would you go back in time? Would you either go back in time to when you were a kid with your own memories, or would you, if you could take a potion and be 14 again today with your knowledge intact, would you? That's such an interesting question, and I think, as a kid, that never even crossed my mind. Like, why would I want to be? I never wanted to be the lost boy. I wanted to grow up. I wanted to experience the world, and I couldn't do that as a kid. So as a kid, it never occurred to me, and of course, as kids, the idea of mortality has pretty much no meaning to you,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just crazy. Again, people as people so aptly put, teenagers feel immortal because they aren't supposed to die till they're older, and suddenly you're my age, getting up there, late 40s, we'll say, and it's like there are thoughts like, I'm saying like again, there are thoughts. What, how much longer? How much longer is it?
I say 40s.
Tell me about it.
And there's those thoughts of mortality, and
Yeah.
I'll share this with you guys. I do have a recurring dream of waking up in my 4-year-old body and having to explain to my parents what's going on and try to make them believe me. And it's this weird recurring dream I have. So somewhere in me really wants that.
Wow.
So mom, it always goes along the lines of, okay, so mom, dad, you're 22. I'm literally twice your age, so I'm more of an adult than you are right now, and I need you to understand this. Let's see. So how am I going to tell you this? So what would you not have told me unless I was an adult? Let's see, Dad. Relate Vietnam story that you wouldn't tell a 4-year-old. That kind of thing. So kind of curious. What do you guys think about that? Would you take the potion?
Until you said the idea of like you're uncontrollably forced into that situation, what I was thinking was I don't know if I could do either, because now that I'm the adult that I am, like I have a full-blown family and relationship, and I've got a wife to think about, I've got kids to think about, and hypothetically I could say one of those answers, but realistically, like I'd have to really like it'd have to be the right timing of things, and really, like, I'd have to have another one for my wife too, you know,
Right.
so we could, if we agreed to do it, it would have to be together, you know.
Right. Can you imagine
But
though in your case, for example, that you've been this has been forced on you, and you wake up and you're 12 years old again, back in the 80s or
yeah,
whatever, and through going through your heads like, oh my god, I some do you real all the again, it's kind of like the stepping on the butterfly thing, or the
yeah,
butterfly's wings, the butterfly effect thing. It's like, what do I have to do? I'm in love with this woman. This woman's my wife. I'm in love with my kids. I have to somehow make it so my wife falls in love with me at the same time, and we have this
oh
relationship.
god,
How do I do that? Or do I just give up and it can't happen, or I fail, and then I have to start a whole new life and have to remember being in love with this woman, and etc.
and I think if that's what happened, like if I was forced into it, I think part of the shock would be kind of overcome with glee of like not having pain, from being 51, right?
Robert has no fucking idea what you're talking about.
And just being able to do all of these things with so much more understanding of what the outcome is going to be. And I'm assuming too, like, I'm not a double, right? So like there isn't an extra me. I'm
No,
not an extra,
right.
right?
You're just reliving your life.
Yeah, yeah. But like I think I would first be trying to hone in on like trying to correct all my mistakes, like everything I'd ever, and I'm sure that just wouldn't really work out like I want it to, but that's definitely the first thing I would try.
Right.
It's definitely the first thing I would try is like whatever situation that I knew was coming up, like broke my ankle when I was 11 on a stupid, you know, snow hill. I definitely would avoid that. I would not do that.
Right. But then you get into the whole situation where you're like, well, would I kill Hitler as a kid? Sure. But
Oh,
then what would have happened? Who would have taken his place? What series of events could have been even worse potentially?
yeah.
It's a weird
I
ass situation.
given all the possibilities of how all the time travel things can work, I'd have to just take advantage of the moment. I don't think I would give that a whole lot of thought yet.
Right.
Like,
Oh my god, I killed my
and
grandpa.
try to keep it personal. Yeah.
Totally right. All right. Robert, out of curiosity, if you could take a potion and go back to your teen years, 5 years ago, uh, would you do that?
And redo some stuff.
Yeah, what would you do if you could take the pill and either go back in time and inhabit your 14-year-old body with your present day knowledge, or suddenly revert to a 14-year-old size in present day? Would you do it? What are you thinking? Or would it be
Yeah,
so
14.
little a change that you wouldn't even notice it?
There's the back in time thing. I definitely do. I wouldn't do the revert my age and live in the today world, because the today world, I've got adult things that I have to do for the people around me. But yeah, man, going back in time, just doing better, fixing things, being more serious about the things I kind of threw. Didn't really give much thought to when I was in high school, I mean, my academics. I wasn't. Maybe I'd stop playing football sooner, because I was really good. I started uh, on every year I played, but I mean, it just wasn't anything I was super like into or passionate about. I always wanted to be that theater kid, the
Oh,
ones in the plays. But it just, I was afraid to like take that step and like have my family like start making fun of me, and like just I was just insecure as a kid, you know?
right. And it's kind of funny you kind of use the idea of you have a little more bravery as an adult with these choices, like because you've seen the consequences or what you could have gained by them. So yeah, I totally get you saying you know, having kind of the courage to take that step and do it regardless of who ridiculed you and that kind of thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you only gain that when you get older and realize it doesn't really matter what other people think about you. You just do you.
You do you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, how about you, Tim? What you thinking? What would you do?
So I definitely wouldn't want to be 14 again now. And go, I kind of struggle similarly with Aaron. Like, I'd want to still end up at a point where I meet my wife, but I think outside of that,
are you saying that because she's literally across the table from you listening,
No.
and you have to say that?
She loves Thursday nights because she gets to watch whatever she wants to watch on TV, and she's binge watching Outlander on Netflix. So,
cool.
So she gets to do that. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that I think I've thought about that a lot. Like, God, what would I do differently? First of all, I know that if I was to go back and just talk to myself, I wouldn't listen. But if I was to able to actually go back, relive it with the knowledge that I have now, yeah, I there would be so many different things that I would do instead of the way I did them. And I mean, not that I've lived a life of regret, but just there's so much that.
Yeah, everybody has something.
Yeah, and so yeah, I definitely would. And although I think there is the butterfly effect of you've created a whole new time stream just by changing certain things. So who knows how that would actually shape up? But I'd like the chance to see what would have happened if I would have changed certain things. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, you get to like present day and be like, damn it, President Paris Hilton? Are you kidding me? Damn it.
Yeah, but yeah, I just turned 50 over the weekend, so it's kind of a reflective point for me. Like, I think, yeah.
Oh, you could like tumble in the grave at any point now. It's like literally like.
Well, that's it, right?
My mom is in her late 30s.
Okay, shut up now, Robert. I'm muting you right now. Again, that's your superpower, Robert. Make me feel like an old motherfucker.
Again, it's not very hard.
It's not very hard, yes. I know. All right. How about Dr. Oculari? What are your thoughts? Would you take the blue pill or whatever? What would you do?
Well, I hate to say this, but if it's actually going back to when I was 14, I certainly would do things different. But as I think I alluded to when we first started this out, I'm going to have to play the X card, and I don't want to discuss it. Fair
enough. Cool. So yeah, it's just kind of an interesting thought experiment too, and I was. It was cool how you guys are, as your characters are totally taking up that role of you're figuring. I think with this episode you figured it out that yeah, kids need to rely on kids. So there was no adult that was going to be helping out Julia, and kind of without question, you guys just jumped into it like you should in this game. And without any real hesitation or thought of, oh my god, are we going to get apprehended by the police? We're going to get grounded? Are we in trouble forever? And it's kind of cool that you guys are kind of adopting that. You guys are I doubt that your characters would think of it as such, but you guys really are the heroes of this story of Ninawake, Wisconsin. You're the heroes. You're doing things that, by definition of the game mechanics, no one will ever know about. No adult will ever really, praise you for, outside of the kind of vestigial things like Andy's dad did.
You got to hollow out a big exception though for Julie for that. I think at this point she's the one adult persona that I think at least Alice would really feel like she could trust.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, so I think it's cool you guys are getting into that. You are the heroes of this story, and you're owning it, and that's really cool.
And you see what you do to me? Look at that's just sweat, man. It's so
Oh
hot
my,
out here.
oh my God. I'm a
Turn your fan
bad,
back
bad
on.
person. Yeah, turn the fan on. Just turn the fan on.
God, let him
No,
turn
it's
the fan
okay.
on.
I only got 13 minutes. I'll hold it.
You just need to burn off, another couple ounces of water weight, and then we'll let you turn the fan on for our
Yeah,
amusement.
I'll bring a whole bucket of ice in here. Pop it in front of the fan.
All right, so we've kind of accomplished what we wanted to. Poor Robert is being a badass and toughing it out with no fan going in his streaming room, and so we should probably call it. So let me do this. Let's say goodbye to our main characters here. Let's start with Dr. Oculari.
See you next time.
And there's the doctor's banner as always. So Dr. Oculari does stream. He has his own stream. He does mostly video games of various types. I've seen several of them. Are you still doing the Final Fantasy or whatever that is? I can't remember. It was
I haven't been doing much stream. It's sort of on and off when I feel like it. Curiously, I found out that I don't like to stream a game that I haven't played yet because I find it very distracting.
Oh, interesting. Try and divert your attention to talking to stream people and
I find that but to replay a game that I've already played, that I actually enjoy streaming.
Cool. So definitely look up Dr. Oculari, and I believe that's also his Twitter handle. So check him out there if you get a chance. And then we have Aaron, who doesn't stream yet.
Is that a challenge?
No,
not a challenge.
Not at all. Not at all. If this was Iron Monkey, I would say hell yeah, it is. But it's not.
I just need
Aaron.
a couple $1,000 of gear, right, to get started. That's
all. Just do it. If we're having this conversation on over video, you have everything you need. You're good.
I'll have to give that some thought.
Give some thought. You have a lot to share. I think you do.
Well, thank you as always. It's been fun.
Awesome. And then we have Tim.
Hope our viewers are having as much fun watching as we are playing. I'm really loving this. So next time.
Awesome. And Tim doesn't stream either, but should. Let's see. And then finally, last but not least, we have Robert over here.
Hey, I hope all of our viewers are having a horrible time.
Just gotta be the naysayer, huh? Gotta be the rebel.
There's gotta be one in the room.
Now I'm gonna keep you online for another 10 minutes or so you have to sweat it out, sweat with the oldies, as it, literally sweat it with the oldies.
It sounds like Robert is actually playing his alter ego as a character.
This is my nice face that I put on in front of strangers.
Yeah. So later on the news they can say, he was such a quiet, nice boy. Wrong. Cool. Well, thank you, Robert. Thank you all. Again, the players are the stars of the show, and they really shine through today. I hope everyone saw that. It was pretty awesome. We had some cool action scenes, and there was some. I was on the edge of my seat a little bit, I gotta say. So thank you to my players for being awesome as always, because you are. And I am Scott of Scott's Case Files. If you're watching me on Twitch, all my little links are below: Twitter, Discord, YouTube, etc. If you're watching me on YouTube, all those same links are below, so check me out, like, subscribe, all that kind of crap. And
say like.
Dude, it doesn't work like that, Aaron. It doesn't work like that. So yes, so be good to each other, have fun, and go forth and do no harm, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.
Cool. Yep.